Hello everyone, it's Jack from VFX Hut. So if you're anything like me and you've been on Unreal Engine, played with the trees and you're like, oh, I wish you could do that in Cinema 4D really easy. Well, you can. So this tutorial is about wind, specifically with leaves and how to get that movement on your trees. So I've set up this simple rig to help with designing the wind before we apply it to a tree. So you can download this in the description as well if you find it useful. So what we need to do is we need to create a jiggle. We need to put that as a child of the leaves, and then we just want to restrict to just the leaves. This is helpful just in case you've got like tree trunks as well. And then we want to go to simulate forces and add a turbulence. So as we'll see, there's nothing happening at all. So we need to just jump into jiggle, add a force of turbulence, add gravity of 1, and then we can jump into our turbulence effect for the actual wind movement itself. So if we want it to be really strong, we can see by cranking up to that, it goes crazy and we get wiggliness. So we just want to affect the scale as well, so it's a bit bigger, more like actual wind. Obviously, the more polygons in your leaves as well, the better. You'll get more realistic movements. We'll keep it at something like that, but we don't need it to be so strong, so we'll just knock it down to that. No, to about 50. So there we're getting some kind of nice realistic looking wind. We can then just, some last final tweaks, we can jump into the jiggle effect and change the stiffness. By lowering it too low, means that your leaves might start flying off branches and looking weird, and like just like ghost floaty leaves. So it needs to always have at least one. But roughly between 8 and what it was set to default is kind of nice. So we get just a little bit more variety and a bit more movement. And again, we can just affect the strength if we just want it to be kind of a little subtle effect. So let's say we're happy with that. Now what we need to do is we need to apply this data to our tree, because we've just done a practice and we've seen what it's going to look like. So let's just open our tree. So this is a tree model from Max Tree. Amazing models, you should go and check them out. And we just want to apply this to the leaves. So Max Tree are good, but their meshes are all one. So the leaves and the wood are all one mesh, but luckily because they've all obviously had textures applied, they've both got separate tags, so we can use that to use the restriction. So we just need to get our jiggle, remove it from our little test object, put it inside our tree, go to the jiggle, and we want to restrict this now. We just want to restrict just the leaves. Put that in the restriction, so now it won't affect the branches or the trunk itself. If we did want to do that for whatever reason, we could just drag that in, or just drag the whole object in and it'll affect everything. But we just want to affect the leaves. So we've restricted it to just the leaves, and all the settings should be the same. We can bring our turbulence down as well, don't necessarily need to. And now we will get a nice leaf movement on our tree. So the reason, if you haven't worked it out already, that we created this little simulation grid thing on the side is because of how slow this is. So it's pretty much one frame every 2 to 3 seconds, which you can't really see if it's doing a good job or not. So hence why we created that little rig, which you can download. So hopefully you found this little tip useful, and I will catch you on the next one.